Hey, what's up, good people? What's up, good people? How you guys doing? You guys in the room? Yep, you guys are waiting. Hey, right, we had some technical difficulties. They update these systems, and then all of our stuff start acting crazy. We use Ecamm Live. I got the guys waiting in the back. We're going to talk about some things. We're going to talk about a little crypto. We're going to talk about quantum computing stock. And we're going to talk about the overall market and the continual sell-offs, right? That's what we're going to do, job data and all of that. Let me bring my bros in and let them introduce themselves, all right? Now, first, we're going to start with Keenan Grace. Keenan Grace, say hello to the people because they ready.
What's going on, everybody? So I lost my voice a little bit, but I'm here to give you the knowledge that you need to help you to learn and then take the L off of that so we can earn.
That's cool. That's cool. Josh, you know he trying to put that Barry White on us, man.
He's got that swagger, man.
All right.
Well,
Josh,
hey,
say
I'm
hello.
excited about this conversation today because we had some interesting news. I really think that the market largely had priced in the news already because when we got the FOMC notes, largely we had minor volatility, and then we began to sort of move up a little bit. But I think this is going to be a great conversation. I think there's some scandalous commentary to review on big tech companies and what the FOMC notes revealed. I can't wait to get into this with you, Larry. But it should be a great show today. I'm Stocks with Josh. You can find me over on the Stocks with Josh show. I'm happy to be here and be your guest today, Larry.
All right. Also, too, we got Keenan Grace. You can find him at Keenan Grace. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. These are my guys. All right. Trusted sources, not just friends, but trusted sources. So now, gentlemen, I'm going to front end this and talk about quantum computing stock. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. And then you guys could chime in right behind that with the job data. Okay. So quantum computing stock took a hit. Why did it take a hit? Because the CEO of NVIDIA, Jensen Huang, and there's a lot of, I'm going to just keep it moving. He literally tanked the entire market with one phrase. He basically
He crushed it.
He crushed it, all right? He Jensen Huang quantum computing stock. That's what he did. And he just said, 15. He said, if you told me it was 15 years away, he would say you were probably a little short. If you told me it was 30 years away, I would tell you that that's too long. All right. So pretty much he was saying between 15 and 30 years away. And that ushered in a sell-off on all of the quantum computing stock, right? Now, quantum computing, QUBT itself, Josh, I don't know if you know, but they had it was kind of like a share dilution down in the $12 range, but it actually went down past that to the $10 range, okay? And then they had two new contracts just before this happened. So they had their second and their third contract just before this happened, Josh. So I want to play. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say that that's what companies do. When the stock runs up, it gives them an opportunity to bring in investors. They say, look at how attractive this stock is. It's on the move. We're the next NVIDIA. This thing's going to $40. And then they cut a deal with them. They bring in some money and they leave their shareholders in the state of being diluted. So that's a signal in and of itself that they're trying to seize on the high price. And really, I don't know that it necessarily means that they don't imagine it going higher, but they're definitely trying to seize on the opportunity.
Yes. And in their case, they're not just trying to seize on the opportunity. They're trying to raise capital. And I like it when they are specific, Josh, right? Because I made a ton of money in 2021 off of these share dilutions. They were literally they were explaining that they were doing a cap raise so they can reinvest it all in the company. Now, are they going to do that? We don't know. But I want to play something for you guys right now that I think is interesting. I played it earlier on my video, but I want other people to hear this, okay? So let's see if we can get this to go here. All righty.
Alan, thank you so much for joining us and making the time. Tell us what exactly Jensen Huang, the leading authority on the future of computing, is getting wrong here.
So, Deirdre, thanks for the opportunity to be here. I very much appreciate it. I think that Jensen Huang is a very smart individual, and he's built an amazing company. And he may be the authority on many aspects of computing, but certainly not all aspects of computing, and certainly not quantum computing. In this case, he's dead wrong. And the reason he's wrong is that we at D-Wave are commercial today. We have companies like MasterCard or NTT Docomo or Pattison Food Group or Ford Otosan that are using our quantum computers today in production to benefit their business operations. Not 30 years from now, not 20 years from now, not 15 years from now, but right now, today. And moreover, we have been able to solve problems on our quantum computer in the area of materials simulation in minutes that it would take well over millions of years to solve on the fastest supercomputers, which, by the way, happen to be massively parallel GPU computers. So Jensen should think a little bit about that. We are solving those problems in minutes today, and it would take millions of years to solve them on massively parallel systems that he provides. And
so you guys see that he wasn't having it. He absolutely wasn't having it, right? And so that you had that guy here, right? Then I want you guys to listen to this.
Well, it is a very interesting comment, and obviously Jensen is a very intelligent individual, has built an amazing company, but there are certain areas I think that he has a vested interest in quantum specifically taking longer to develop. And we think over time there's an opportunity or a potential for quantum to take some of the share that GPUs are currently established in, and so it makes sense that he would have this longer term view. We also think that some of this is maybe not quite understanding the progress, the pace of acceleration that we've seen in quantum, and we think we're actually much further along than what he may suggest. But in addition to that, I think there's a lot of use cases where current capabilities can generate real value in the market and is legitimate in terms of the valuation or investment side, and that over time that will continue to play out. And we would agree that it does take maybe several years to get to the fully or the perfect quantum computing, as he suggests, but certainly still a lot of opportunity ahead of that.
So you guys heard that, right? These guys wasn't having it. They're saying that, look, Jensen, you're a smart guy on a lot of things, but you don't know what you're talking about, right? Now, this gentleman said it. Look, it's going to take some time. For those of you that's into any of the quantum computing stock, any of them, okay, you got to understand that you're early. And if you are not in for the long haul, right? And so that means that you don't buy it on Monday and then you go, Larry, what are we going to do on Tuesday? No, this is a long haul, right? Now, you guys know I made over 1,700% at the top, okay, on these. And actually, a lot of you guys are still up on all of these quantum computing stock, right? But a lot of you guys just got in. And as you could see, quantum computing, Josh, I don't know if you could see that, right now is up 3.38%. You see that? Mm-hmm. So it's up 3.38%. And then if you went one at a time, you can't, right? So you got D-Wade, right? You got Rigetti. You're going to start to see some of them, though I don't think they're all going to rebound. And then you even got SoundHound, Josh, that is guilt by association. That went down 16%, right? Yeah. And so what happened is it was one broad brush that took them all down, right? And so that's what I wanted to point out to you guys, that there may be some more pullback. So what I told people in my Patreon, I don't call it a Patreon, it's a stock crypto club. What I told them is that I'm buying a little bit today, which I did. And I said, I'm going to wait till Friday and buy a little bit more. Josh, I also told them Keenan, I also told him these are small cap stocks. So I got small money in it, right? And when you see someone that knows what they're doing, that have made money in and out of these type of plays, and they only buy, let's say it's an option, you buy one contract, then some of you guys go and buy 30 contracts. Josh talks against that, controlling your position size. I say that all of the time.
Yep.
Why? Because we're early. Now, when I got in and bought the 3,000 shares of QUBT, it was 93 cents, right? And so these have run up massively, all right? But there's going to be a few winners in here, maybe two, all right? And we don't know what they are right now. So I'm telling you guys that if you're not long, like Keenan say, don't come running to me. You like a week from now, a month from now, every day. Larry, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I just showed you. Set your stop losses, okay? Set your stop losses. Somebody said the dude from D-Wade is mad. Yeah, he upset. What you guys got to say about it?
You want me to start, Josh? You start.
Yeah, go ahead. Keenan.
Go ahead. I'll follow up after you.
So from what I see with the quantum computing stocks, right? So I actually used to teach engineering. I used to be a public school teacher. And the thing about technology is you'll hear about it and then it's really 30 years off. And then one day it's 20 years off. And then one day it's here. So nobody really knows when it'll be exactly here. It's kind of like in 2022, 2023, ChatGPT and AI, all of that stuff, you were thinking about the Terminator or thinking about the world getting taken over. And now, boom, it's here in a big way. So these things might seem 15, 20, 30 years out, but then when they happen hard. So you just got to be ready and position yourself in a way where, like Larry, you could get in at 93 cents and then ride the wave up to $20. And I say all of that to say the truth is very likely somewhere in the middle. It's not going to be 30 years off, very likely, but it's also not going to be next year like they might want you to believe. So when you are getting into these stocks, let's say that you're new and you're starting and you're saying, okay, I've never invested before. I want to get in. I want to learn. What people often do when they're new is they look for a stock that's $5 and down because they think that this is going to be the way to make money. When actuality, sometimes these things are a gamble. And you as a new investor or a new trader, you're not really ready to understand the position sizing or how to get in and out of certain things. So you might have got caught with the thing being down 40%, right? Meanwhile, somebody who knew what they were doing would have known to get in, ride the wave up, and then switch and pivot and then ride the wave down and make money on that. But as somebody new, I really want to encourage you to paper trade. I know you don't want to paper trade, but I want to encourage you to paper trade. I want to encourage you to look at the charts. I want to encourage you because what will happen is this. There's so much money to be made only because there are so many people who are not willing to put in the work. So then the people who put in the work are going to get money from where? The people who are not willing to put in the work. So the liquidity got to come from somewhere, right? Don't let it be you. So right. Imagine every time. So actually today I was out in the city and I was with a tour guide, and then we had went into one of these buildings and I had walked by. There were two older people. There were two older white people, and I want to say they might have been looking like they were 70, 75, a man and a woman, like they were together. And then I walked by and they're on their laptops in the common area. And then I turned around, I did a double take, and both of them are sitting right there and they're trading SPY options and QQQ options.
That's cool.
That's crazy.
It was a complete coincidence that I would walk by. So then I was like, "You trading stocks or crypto?" He's like, "Oh, neither." He didn't know I was Keenan Grace, right? So he's like, "Oh, neither." He's just like, I'm just trading options. I was like, "What you want, SPY?" He's like, "Oh, wow." So I said that. He was like, "Whoa, SPY? No, SPY in the Qs." So then I'm watching them do it, and then he told me that they like have this big business out in Vegas, and they just live in this certain building. It's a really nice building, and this is what they do all the time. They've been at this, and that's what they do every Monday through Friday. Him and his wife, they come down there, and then they just trade together. And I'm thinking, like, how many people are taking this so seriously?
Right.
And they've been doing this for so long. Yeah. And then there are people who are new, and you're trading against them. You're trading against me. I'm trading against them. I'm trading against Josh. We're all in the stock market together. Somebody got to lose. But
Right.
who's going to lose? It's the people that aren't putting in the work. So you got to think like that. You got to think. Warren Buffett is in the market with you. There are so many people who are in the market with us. Who are going to be the ones to lose? It's those who see a stock. Larry will make a whole video about a stock, and then all you'll do is read it in the title, and it'll say whatever quantum stock. Okay, I'm just gonna go and buy that and ignore everything else that was said in the video. And then the people who pay attention are gonna be the ones who say, okay, I heard that this one could be risky. Maybe I'll get a chance to get in lower. So then, boom, Jensen crashes the stock, and now they got a chance to get in lower.
Yep.
So just pay attention to this game, and you're gonna really make a whole lot of money. I know that what I'm saying, some people might be intimidated or you might find some fear, but I don't want you to be in fear. I want you to just be aware. I want you to know what's going on so that you can know that you got to treat trading like it's an oxygen tank. You got to treat it like you won't be able to live in this space without this thing. So you got to treat it so seriously. You got to monitor it very closely like you're a diver and say, okay, how much money do I have to trade? Where am I risk management? Where am I going to make sure that I get out if it's not going my way? If it's going in profit, do I elevate my stop loss? Do I have a profit target? Do I understand the charts on this? Is this a good company or not? And remember, just because something isn't a good company, it doesn't mean the stock won't make you money. You can make a lot of money when the company isn't good yet. But I say all of that to say, like I said in the beginning of this video, you got to learn, and then you can take the L off of that and earn.
Come on. You're talking about my coupon codes, man. Come on, man. Come on. Listen, when he hit them both. Listen, Josh, when you finish, I want to talk about percentages because he hit on something. 10% is 10%. 30% is 30%. And you know what taught me that? Back in 2020, really, I really learned it big. And that was Tesla. I was looking, for those of you that are new, that's looking for the cheap stock, and you figure I can get more shares. Don't think that way. Always think, I want the percentage. So it doesn't matter how much the stock costs. It's the percentage that it moves up. Take it away, Josh.
Well, okay, I'm going to talk a little bit technically about these, and then we can kind of broaden it to the subject of, what's happening overall in the space and how relevant is the technology. But technically, I just want to give you guys this thought. First of all, I follow Larry. I understand his trading practices. I mean, when he says, small cap, small position size, that's a well-learned discipline from him. But let me give you one of mine. Whenever a stock has a significant gap down moment, I always wait 3 days before I take a position. That is a general rule. And there's a reason why it had a massive gap down moment. The retail investor is always looking for the V-shaped recovery, and they're always looking for what's on sale. And they often are neglecting the stable project that's just marching higher and higher and higher. Because a lot of times the retail people want to get rich quicker. They're willing to take more risk. They've got less capital put to use. And so they go harder, right? But would I be a buyer right now of QUBT based on my own personal disciplines? No, I have to wait a minimum of 3 days. That's good. I think you might find, that, that you see it a little differently. And that's the same not only for gaps down, but it's also the same for huge gap ups on earning. There's a whole pattern in trading called, shooting star. We've got, and that is a result of a candle that gapped up, turned into a red doji with a big wick and a big tall, and then gapped back down. That pattern, that candle exists. That candle pattern exists because that happens a lot in the market, and it's easy to recognize. And so even whether you're gapping up or gapping down, you want to give it a little bit of time and see what type of continuation. Larry's a momentum trader. I talked about Larry on my show today. When I was doing my live show, I said, momentum traders trade candle by candle. And guess what? The next candle's got to go higher. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
It's just that simple,
Yes.
And then they don't buy. And a lot of times the retail people fall into the DCA game. And that's not the right approach to everything. And as far as the overall, I'll just comment on this, Larry, and I'll turn it back to you. But overall, I was imagining this. First of all, this was such a heavy blow to the quantum computing space for him to say what he said. And I was kind of imagining it like maybe Steve Jobs, at the height of his career and the height of Apple, just saying that NVIDIA was, just that the concept of artificial intelligence or NVIDIA, becoming a Fortune 500 company or, part of the Magnificent Seven was unrealistic, and that it was too young and too baby. Having said that, I'm not a buyer of these until it comes back below $6 as far as a general target. I gave this on my show when everything was at $17. A couple of these were at $17. I said, guys, first off, they got to hold support between 12 and 13. And I said, if they break that, then the next level beneath that is the next significant level is at $6 on a couple of these. And, when we were breaking through 13 and 14 this morning, I alerted in the Stocks with Josh Discord. I said, guys, at open, I often give a call or put, I didn't even bother. I said, at open, short these to $11, right? At bare minimum. And they flushed even further. Hundreds of percentage points were made. But I would say right now, I'd give it 3 days. And if these cannot get back above $13, let's say, I would say largely you want to treat them like the plague. I know I'm a bit more I don't know. I've got more capital to protect, and I would be interested in employing it when it's so freaking obvious that these have been forsaken, and they're not forsaken just now. A lot of people are seeing this as a huge pullback opportunity. So it's super hot. But I think risk is coming. I think people are moving away from high risk. We've been seeing it for quite a while. And I know that Larry is going to direct us into getting into the broader market, the SPY, what we see for the first quarter, what we see for earnings. And I think that the first round of companies to take a hit are these unprofitable. And I know someone said, oh, they're making some money. For perspective, QUBT earnings per share, I believe, is negative $20. So trust me, they're burning money. Whatever money they're making, they're burning more. And so this is where if Wall Street wants to go risk off, they're going to go risk off first in these high risk plays. Great
job, Josh. So here's what I want to tell you guys about these plays. Listen to me. The sell-off is not over. They will go down from here. And I told people, I says, I'm going to nibble. And let's just be honest. You're looking at 3 financially successful guys. Josh, ask me how much I spent on them today.
How much did you spend on them today, Larry?
About $800.
A small position, small position.
Amongst 3 or 4 of them, right? In total, that was my total spend, right? And one of them I had because I'm looking at the amount of shares, it was like $300. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm not looking at them, right? I'm looking for them to come down because I got way more dry powder. I'm wanting and waiting for them to come down, right? And then I'm not going crazy. Now, you got to know the difference between a swing trade and a long-term investment. Right now, in this area, these are nothing but swing trades. The one that I have I have the 500 shares was QUBT because I was up 1,700% and still up 350%.
You crushed those plays. I don't know anybody on YouTube. I don't know anybody that got in as early as you and held them as long as you held them to max profit. I don't know anybody.
And I turned $2,700 into $74,000, right? These things ran up.
That's amazing.
Absolutely crazy. So what did I do? I sold 2,500 shares. I brought it to you guys. And then the remaining 500 shares, I have a trailing stop loss. But I had that trailing stop loss loose. And when I woke up this morning, I actually sold some of those. That was in, guess what, Josh? My Roth.
What's that? Yeah. Nice.
They were in my Roth, which means that no taxes for your boy. All right. So, hey, Josh, you know what, Keenan, I want you to open us up on. There's Pastor Kent over there. There's Pastor Kent. How you doing? Josh, I want you to open up. Can we talk about warrants on quantum computing? That's if we have any time. I'm going to bounce from stocks to crypto. So because we got both audiences here, I believe everybody should be in on all. Keenan, I want you to talk about crypto, the state of crypto, and then Josh, I want you to take it from there, and then I'm going to bring it up. We're going to talk about. I'm sorry, you guys. I was choking down some peanuts before I got on here. All right, listen, guys. I want to talk about Bitcoin, a meme coin, and an altcoin. All right. So I want to talk about SUI. I'm going to talk about Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the tide that raises all ships. All ships are all other crypto. We're going to talk about XRP, SUI, Bitcoin, and then I want one of you guys to talk about a meme. And ladies and gentlemen, you could pretty much put every top 10 meme and just trade it the same way, right? Let's say top 5 meme, and they're going to generally react the same way, right? So Kenan, bring us into crypto, and then Josh, you go from there.
Okay.
All right, everybody. So Bitcoin is currently $94,000 a coin. Now, me personally, I have 4 full Bitcoin. I had the opportunity a long time ago to buy Bitcoin when it was like, I'm talking about like $600. And back then, I did not know what I was doing to the point that I know what I'm doing now. So I had bought some, I sold some, I was trading in and out of it, but I didn't understand the potential. Now that I do, I no longer trade Bitcoin anymore. If I ever buy a Bitcoin, I'm holding on to it for dear life. Then I have to get a crowbar and pry it from me because I'm keeping it, right? Now, with that being said, there is a level of support that I like to see. And it's about, let's call it 90. It's a zone. It's like 90 to like 92,000, right? It's like right there. So what does that mean? For my people who are new, it means people are buying it there. Every time we come back down to just about 92,000, 90,000, if you don't see 88,000, we kind of in the clear for this cycle that we're in right now, for us to head back up. Now, nothing is a guarantee. We're in a whole new stage where places or institutions like BlackRock are in it. The president is getting us involved and the politics are in it now. But outside of the news catalysts and things like that and the politics, 92,000, we basically right there is where we get a little bounce. But people think to themselves, you know, Keenan, I don't got 92,000 to go and buy some Bitcoin. I want to buy something that's so many zeros and then 1 and then watch that turn into a penny. You still got to watch Bitcoin. Why? Because this, like Larry said, is the tide that raises all ships. So when Bitcoin is on the low, those other things are going to be lower too. It's kind of like every cryptocurrency almost, not SUI, but almost every cryptocurrency is pegged to Bitcoin. Meaning when Bitcoin is coming down, they're going to be coming down too. So go and look at your favorite cryptocurrencies outside of SUI. And then when Bitcoin is popping up, consider hopping in those and then watch it run. So if you see Bitcoin running up too, then you might even go look at XRP and try to run it with that. So as soon as Bitcoin gets back over about 102, then we should be in the clear for another run. But especially if you see it break over 108, like 109-ish, then I'm looking for 120, 140, and us to run beyond that. But we are in a zone that is technically a buy zone. Now, let's get to SUI. SUI right now, if I'm not mistaken, is almost $7, right? It looks like, let me see. Let me make sure this is USD because I be having my VPNs on. So sometimes it be giving me some different prices. Let me see where we at. All right, yeah, that was a different currency. So right now it's $4.84. Now, we've been talking about this one for a long time. We watched it go up many, many dollars, and we love to see it, right? We love to make some money with that. SUI, a lot of people are in SUI, not necessarily because of SUI itself, but related to the SUI meme tokens. If you don't know what a SUI meme token is, you got no business even looking at SUI because you don't understand the value in SUI that people are getting from SUI. It's kind of like an XRP. It's not XRP. It's kind of like an Ethereum. It's kind of like another cryptocurrency that you can make other cryptos on. It's like a level 1, and then they're making all these level 2s on it. So I say all of that to say, when you see the crypto SUI memes popping up, go look at Sui. It's very likely following along just because people like that. So now Sui, and somebody told me that you couldn't get it on Coinbase, but you absolutely can if you so choose. But that's that with Sui. And then I want to get to XRP. XRP is in a battle with Ondo Finance for being the most predictable cryptocurrency on the market. And I say that to say, when you look at Ondo Finance, my people at home, go and do some quick technicals and look at the support levels. Where does it come down and bounce? It's been so consistent. I literally called this on my YouTube channel. We going on 8 times in a row of being exactly 100% down to the penny of where XRP is. I think one time I was off by a penny, once, of where it would bounce and then where it would go. And every single time, so far I think I got 7. This would be 8 that I'm looking at right now. And we just been able to load up low and ride the wave up. However, XRP is one of them that can potentially be a long-term hold. When it's all said and done, if I never see XRP be $5, I would be very shocked. I'd be extremely shocked. It doesn't mean it's going to happen this cycle, but that would shock me. But my voice is getting tired. So Josh, you take it up from here.
Josh, before you come on, I'm going to do something a little different here. I'm going to pin a comment, and I want you guys to listen carefully, right? This is Gilbert. Big hello to the Master Blasters. Let's go to the Master Blaster of Disaster. At the end, he says, never mind, I'm losing so much money. Gilbert, I love you, brother. For those of you that don't know, Gilbert is a regular here. He supports all of our channels. But I'm going to say something and love Gilbert. Stop trading today. Don't you put another dime in stocks or crypto. Gilbert is compulsive, okay? And Gilbert, I'm not trying to put you on Front Street, but I read your comments, and I've been reading them for a couple of years, and I met good brother. But stop, just stop, because if you're losing money every month while everyone else is making money, then you have to come to grips that there's something that you are doing incorrectly, and there's something that you need to learn. So I want you to stop burning money and step back and learn, because I love you enough to tell you the truth. And if you have some sort of gambling addiction or compulsive addiction, and this is to anyone else, stop trading. And you definitely should not be doing options. And then write down what the mistakes you already made, and then work on those before you put another dime in. Okay? So, and I know what your problem is, and I want you to contact me again like you did before. I know what your problem is, Gilbert. You don't listen to the videos all the way through, and you don't follow instructions. Josh will say, support is here and resistance is here. If it comes through here, it's going to fall, right? If it breaks through resistance, support, it's going to fall. And then you will come in and buy it after it broke under, and then it free falls. And then when it gets to the bottom, you sell it. And then it runs back up, and then you buy it at the top. And I know I'm not just talking to Gilbert. I'm saying this because we love you guys enough to tell you the truth. We want you to make money, and we don't want you to repeat the same mistakes. Contact me, Gilbert, okay? I'm saying this in love and not to put you on Front Street, but you do leave a lot of comments, and I just need you to stop. I want you to be financially well so you can catch up with the rest of the family. We love you, man. All right,
Yeah,
Josh.
we love you, man. Larry, I want to just comment on something you just said again. I love that, right? So there's a lot of people who we got crossover with, people who follow you, who follow me, who follow Josh, who follow Mo. Again, shout out to Stock Mo. Everybody, shout out to Stock Mo.
Stock Mo.
Shout out to Mo, man. Because y'all asking where Mo. We wondering where Mo at. Now we know where Mo at. That's our guy. So, all right, check this. If you know, right, you might not know, but if you know in the comments, I've been trading live for years, right? For years at this point, there's a maximum amount that I'm willing to lose before I go. And I say, you know what? I'm going to touch grass. Like Josh calls them his disciplines, right? So I'm gonna call it the same just for equal reference. I got 2 disciplines in terms of risk management that are super simple when I'm live trading. One of them, and again, guess the dollar amount in the comments. I'm gonna give you a second. One of my disciplines is if I lose 2 straight, I'm done. I'm done. If I get in, I try to get on a support break, fall signal. Oh, stopped out. I'm done. Oh no, that's one. It can happen. I get in again. Wall Street like to play games. They playing with me again. I lose again. Oh yeah, today ain't the day. I don't try to revenge trade. I don't try to
Right.
just keep going and
Out.
pushing through it. I don't try to dollar cost average down into a losing trade. No, I'm out. Oh, there we go. I see him rolling in the chat. 200. You see him rolling in? I didn't say that, but that's the truth. I'm willing to risk $200 on a live trade, and not in terms of how much money I'm willing to put in. I could put in 10,000, and if I see that turn into 9,800, I'm done. I'm done. Why? Because, and I want y'all to all pick a number for yourself, and this is why. If I was to lose $200 on Monday, $200 on Tuesday, $200 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I lost $1,000, right? 5 in a row. But then I got into one nice trade and made $3,000. Boom, I'm back in profit. I'm keeping my losses so small and so minimal that it is so easy to make that loss back that it's almost guaranteed that I'm going to be profitable because I'm playing the game. And you know how they say when you go to Vegas, Vegas is rigged because the odds are in their favor and you're more likely to lose? Well, I decided the odds is going to be in my favor. What are the chances that I'm going to lose 5 times in a row? What if I flip a coin 5 times in a row? It's very likely that I'm going to get heads 5 times in a row or tails 5 times in a row. No, that's not going to happen. So therefore, my upside is unlimited, but my downside is limited. I'm telling you this right now. You got to pick an amount. I seen somebody in the chat say, man, you know what? I'm in the quantum stocks and I lost 90K. You do not have discipline.
What?
You do not have a discipline
Ouch.
that is limiting how much money that you are going to lose. You got to know that. And if you don't know that, then Wall Street is going to tell you, and they want everything that you have. If you
Right.
lost 90K, they want you to lose 91. That ain't enough. They want you to lose 92. You didn't remortgage your house. They want you to do that. So then you got to pick, or they going to pick. I don't know who said it. I want to say it was either Bob Marley or Will Smith in some movie. I don't know who said it, but you guys probably heard this one. And it was, the givers have to know their limits because the takers have none.
No limits.
Takers
Yep.
don't have any limits.
Yep.
Wall Street, they're trying to take everything from you. Why do you think all of these apps want you to trade? Why do you think they want you to trade? Because they want you to get in there, right? And they want you to keep making trades and keep making trades. But at the same time, I'm talking about all of them, even Fidelity, even Charles Schwab. Why do they want it? They want you to get on here and then be liquidity. That's what they want, you to be liquidity, right? We need to make money, be able to move in and
Right.
out. But
Right.
liquidity is not going to move to you. It's only going to move away from you if you don't know what you're doing. So I say all of that to say, family, there's so much money to be made. And Larry and Josh, I wanted to just tell y'all something, right? I had seen something going viral on Facebook. I mentioned this in a video today, and it was about a woman. And you know how women, like nowadays, they got to deal with some dudes who probably ain't the best. So they said they not answering no text from some dude saying, what you doing no more, if they got to pay over $2,200 in bills a month. So it was like, if a woman is paying $2,200 in bills a month, she better not never answer no text saying, what you doing, from no man. And I'm thinking to myself, wait. That's the cutoff? That's $26,000 a year in bills. That's almost nothing. Anybody could afford that with a regular decent job.
Right.
So then I was really getting to the psychology of that. And I was thinking, you think that $26,000 a year is a lot because your brain has been limited by your experiences. Understand this. There are people who, when that quantum stock fell 40%, they made $20,000, 26 that day, today. You understand what I'm saying? On puts. There are people who made $200,000 this day, made $1 million this day. You got to expand your mind, and you will never do that if you keep making them same mistakes that you're making before. Let those mistakes go. If you ever lost a lot of money, let it go. Start today, and let's learn, and then let's earn.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk about stocks because I've been reading every comment, Josh and Keenan, because Josh too. Josh and Keenan, I want you guys to get some, if you've been reading the comments, there's a lot of education needed. There's a lot of newbies here, and there's a lot of education needed on how to stop losing money. Because I've seen at least 8 of them said, I'm him. I'm him. And so, and what are you talking about? I like this. What do you? So we need to spend more time there. So this is what we're gonna do, Josh. Let's hit this crypto, and let's just keep it moving. Like let's move from crypto to crypto. Josh, I don't want you to just talk about one crypto. I want you to talk about Bitcoin, SUI, and XRP all in the same swoop. It's on you, Josh.
Well, so I spent some time on the Bitcoin chart, and I just want you to, I want you guys to look at me like I grew a bunch of hair, and I lost my horns, and I'm turning into a bear. I'm transforming. I got to follow the charts, which means, and I got to follow my interpretation of the charts because it's my money that I'm investing. Having said that, I think that Bitcoin, we're in a short window here. I've been talking about it on my page for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay. We've got a D-Day coming, and it's going to be this next set of earnings. And I think the market's going to do a ton of reevaluation. I don't think that the market has a catalyst or a justification to dump their bags, but I think everybody's on edge. And so we're not feeling that euphoric, happy, everything's going to be better state. We got the Fed pointing fingers at the president. We've got the president making all of his comments, which are often, some of them are funny, man.
They're funny, man.
We're gonna buy Greenland. We're going to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. We might invade Panama. We got stuff happening, right? So there's uncertainty ahead. And personally, I want you to know, when I look at the Bitcoin chart, and I spent some time on it, there's absolutely extreme bearish divergence forming on that chart. Bearish divergence is when price continues to go higher, but momentum begins to trail off, right? It typically precedes a sell-off, right? Now, what I'm talking about may not happen in the next day. It might not happen in the next week, and it might not happen in the next month. But I would tell you that because of the troubled waters that we're in, unless I get a reason for the markets to just crush it, and I don't know that that reason is going to come until we've gotten through all of big tech's earnings, okay? Unless big tech and NVIDIA shows us that this economy is screaming forward in profit margin, unless they reveal that, I'm personally viewing the next quarter, the next maybe even quarter and a half, as being potentially pretty bearish. And so Bitcoin could absolutely cool off from here. I pointed out in the Bitcoin chart that in previous cycles, almost every one, there were moments in time in which Bitcoin pulled back 40% when it was at the stage that it's currently at. And we've had very little volatility. This is sort of the calm before the storm. And I just think people have to think through their investment. And personally, I would say that the $177,000 target that I gave Bitcoin with the qualifier that we were going to basically have a green month after November. We didn't have it. Okay. We didn't have it. So we didn't get what I expected. The month, I can't show my chart, but I'm looking at the chart right now, and it's a red gravestone candle on the monthly time frame. Okay. So the market didn't give me, a technical trader, because I don't care about the fundamentals. I don't care what Michael Saylor is thinking. I don't care if Kathy Wood's, buying more Bitcoin today. And now, if you're talking long term, I really liked what Keenan said. Keenan's got Bitcoin. He's not going to sell it. I've got Bitcoin. I haven't sold any, and I'm not even sure I'm ever going to. I've got money to live off of, and Bitcoin, I can just sit there and not try to time the market. I've got my day trading account, which I've been sitting here day trading the entire time we've been talking, making money on plays. So I can continue to trade the market up or down in my crypto and let my Bitcoin sit and not even worry about it. But I will tell you that I am bearish, and the December monthly gravestone candle is not pointing, at bare minimum, it's pointing to extreme volatility ahead. I'm talking a massive 30% move minimum on Bitcoin, right? And so I'm not saying that we've seen the top. I kind of called the top recently as being potentially 116,000. But I would tell you that unless the market finds more momentum, and I'm telling you for a fact that this market is losing momentum like crazy. There's a hole in the momentum bucket and it's pouring out fast. Unless the market finds a reason to be bullish and to have more momentum, Bitcoin may be on the final stages of its second pump under less momentum. We might get a new high, and a lot of the alts might get brand new highs and go a little higher. But largely, I don't think people are going to be prepared for the turnaround. And I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of people say a lot of things. Some people say it because they're trying to get viewers. There's a lot of coins with unrealistic targets and unrealistic expectations. Bitcoin chart is losing momentum. It could be pointing to either higher volatility or a much lower target than a lot of people are expecting. And I'm definitely thinking that people need to evaluate their crypto and be very careful. Lean towards stop losses. If you're a long-term investor, you don't hold any of the altcoins, including Ethereum, through the winter. If you're a long-term investor, you could possibly justify holding Bitcoin and never selling it and consistently buying it. Stop loss everything. And some of you, who are a little bit more seasoned, need to begin to look at how to short Bitcoin and make money in the winter. The winters are typically 400 days. And I'm not saying we're getting into the winter now, but maybe, I talked about the fact that the winter is coming in the summer of 2025, and you need to be prepared for it. So I guess that's my overview. I'm definitely growing bear fur at this point. I'm getting ready to hibernate my crypto money. I'm going to lock it up in the cave and go to bed.
You know what, too? So Josh was speaking on something called a gravestone or candle, a doji candle, right? Or some people call it the graveyard candle, whatever. But if you want to learn about that one, then I highly encourage you to watch the video that I shot today. When we get off of this video, maybe 10 minutes or so, go over there after this one. And then I'm going to show you like the easiest way you ever seen it for free on YouTube. I named the video Urgent Upload. Do not trade until you see this, because I'm speaking on exactly what Josh is speaking on. So you can see the time frames you got to look at, so when you can understand when is the market very likely to reverse, what does that mean, and what to look for. So go and watch that video after. But also, I want to add something to your toolbox very simply right now, other than the doji candles that you really should learn. And it's a very simple tool, right? This right here is called the Fear and Greed Index. You could kind of see it, right? You could kind of see it.
Pull one up. Would you on crypto or stocks?
Stocks.
Okay.
So you might not like CNN or whatever, but CNN Business, they have a really good, easy one to use. So just look up Fear and Greed Index. And what you're going to see is CNN Business has one, and theirs is very simple to look at. Even if you don't like them, it's cool. Just use the tools for what they're good at, right? Never throw a tool away because you don't like the branding. Use the tool. So we're in a fear state, plus we're getting those gravestone doji candles. So this is telling us, like Josh was saying, the charts are coming down, and then the sentiment and momentum is coming down. So the people who are surprised by this are going to be the people who get smoked. The people who are prepared for this are going to be the people who are able to capitalize from this. This is going to be the same people who capitalized during the pandemic, the same people who capitalized in 2022 bear market, the same people who capitalized in the financial crisis of about 2008. And this in the future is going to be your shot to capitalize too. You just got to be able to see it coming. When you hear about people like Michael Saylor, or you hear about people like Tom Lee, or you hear about people like the Big Short, I forget his name, and all of these people, what happened? They seeing what other people aren't seeing, and the writing is on the wall. You just got to be able to look. So then I want you to learn about certain candles that show reversals. I want you to learn about market sentiment, because you heard about it, but you got to actually add it to your toolbox. You take a quick glance. And if you see, for example, how right here, let me see if I can show you real quick. You see how it's like kind of orange, like over there, you can see it. It says fear. It might be hard to read, but it says fear. That's showing me that the markets is going to be volatile today. It's not going to just shoot up. It's not just going to come down like crazy because it's fear. But if it was an extreme greed, oh yeah, the call options is going to print until they don't. I know that because everybody's having a fear of missing out, right? So you got to just learn these things and just add them to your toolbox. Load yourself up, and then you're going to really make a whole difference in your trading strategy.
Well,
Larry, can I comment real
yes,
quick on a
sure,
question I see?
sure. And then I'm going to tell you what I think about crypto. Go ahead, Josh.
Okay, so Francis Q said, "What's the time frame for Bitcoin parabolic and alt season start and end date?" I want to be prepared and not scared. That's a great question. So when Bitcoin traditionally confirms and breaks above its previous market high, is typically one of the strongest up moves that Bitcoin has. Um, and that's the problem, because technically it would be right now. Technically, right now, we would have every single month from November, December, January. We'd have every single month ending higher. And the problem is that we had 1 month after we broke above the previous market high, and then we have a second month red, and we're only 8 days into January, but it's also a flat month. And so the answer to that is that traditionally it would begin, the most parabolic phase of Bitcoin would begin once the price is confirmed above the previous high. Now, before the halving event, we came up to the previous all-time high in March of 2024, and then we spent the next 5 months sort of consolidating underneath it. We got there earlier than expected. Normally, we don't get above the previous high until after the halving. This time, we got there earlier, and that getting there earlier might have changed the entire timeline of Bitcoin. But traditionally, when you get a confirmation candle, which is a candle that opens and closes above the previous all-time high, that would be November for us. That was the candle that confirmed the breakout above the previous all-time high. The next period of time, we're talking really the next 4 to 6 months, is absolutely the parabolic moment. And now we are 2 months, 1 month and 8 days into it. December's booked as a red candle. January's booked the first week as a flat candle. And Bitcoin needs to be taking off very, very, very soon. Otherwise, it's doing something that it's never done before, which is simply, when it enters its parabolic phase, not to go anywhere.
All right. So thank you, gentlemen. So listen, guys, Josh and I was talking about this. We always say this time is different, and then we laugh at that. This time is not different. This time is not different. Well, this time there are some things that are actually different. We have never had this much institutional buy-in of Bitcoin. Never in the history. And we have an incoming president, right? But here's the deal. The Trump trade came in like a mighty roaring lion. All of us made so much money with our stocks and in our crypto. The amount of money that I made and most of you, when the election was over and we knew who was going to be the president, in both markets was insane. But it was too much too quick. The Trump trade was too much too quick. Now there is fear. We go from extreme greed to now we heading into neutral. As a matter of fact, to Keenan's point, I want to point to something that you guys need to see. Okay? Here. Crypto, as you could see, is, Josh, you could see this, right? Last month,
Yes.
extreme greed, right? 83%. Last week, 51%. Yesterday, 54%. Now we're at 49% neutral. Okay? If you guys go to the extreme greed, you could see that it's generally at the top. All right? And then extreme fear is generally at the bottom. It's where you literally can buy. And so what I'm telling you guys is there is some bumpy times ahead. There's some bumpy patches ahead. Now, I hate to do this, and I'm not a fear monger. And I do look at the fundamentals. I weigh them heavy now. Tom Lee, a lot of you guys didn't say that, and I know you gentlemen probably didn't hear him. Today said that Bitcoin, and that doesn't mean it's going to happen. He said that Bitcoin could come to the low 70s, right? And he said it could literally go to the low 60s here in the next 30 days, right? This is not This is not Larry saying this. This is what Tom Lee, Mr. I Predicted It, said, right? But in that same breath, listen to this, Josh, and Tom Lee's a smart guy. In that same breath, he also said that he believes that Bitcoin will hit 250,000 this year. So now, what do you do with that information? You don't panic. You don't panic. And when I made my video that I made before, this one I'm holding, I'm not selling. I'm not selling. And Josh, I told you, Josh, tell the people how much I said I drug in the Bitcoin, how much cash I drug in there. Just go ahead and say it.
I mentioned it in my show. Well, I don't know what you're saying exactly, but I mentioned it in my show today that you had told me that you loaded 50K more into your crypto account. And I said, what are you going to buy? And you said, nothing. I'm just getting ready to buy something.
There you go, good people. There you go. And you guys know me, I keep it real. So if it goes to zero, you guys know about it, which is not. What I'm doing is preparing for what may come. It doesn't matter. And let me say this. If you put money in, right, Josh? If a tree falls in the forest and no one was there to hear it, did it make a sound? What I'm saying to you guys is, if you put some money into a stock or crypto and you get stranded on an island for 2 months and you come back and it's significantly higher, did you lose any money? Nope. But while you were gone, because I need you to get this in your psyche, while you were gone, it did this. Bam, it floor dropped. Then it floor dropped again. Then it floor dropped again. And all you were seeing, but you didn't see it because you was gone. It was just red, 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 red. And then by the time you came back, it was green. Welcome to crypto, good people, because this is what happens with crypto. Listen, we generally get a pullback 2 to 3 times of 30%. And I looked at going down to where Tom Lee said it could go down to. I'm here in the 60K range right here. Let me put it where you guys could see it. That's only a 25% pullback from where we are now. Would be 69-ish. Follow?
Larry, you want to listen to funny?
Yeah.
So I told you I had 2 Bitcoin for like a few years, and I had bought 2 of them, 2 new ones recently, right? And I show everybody when I buy stuff like that. Like I send a buy alert, hey, I'm buying it. And 2 things happen. This happens every single time, right? You know how I'll buy VTI or VOO or something at an all-time high. Be right. Man, this is all-time high, right? You know how I'll do that. And people, they be like, man, Keenan, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then boom, it hit another all-time high. So the first time I had bought my 3rd Bitcoin, and this might have been, I think it was at like, it had went to like 50K or something like that. And I was like buying half, another half. And then they're like, Keenan, this thing will come back to 20. Boom, it's at 100. It come right back down to like 88. And then I buy another half and then another half. Keenan, this thing going to 30K. And now it's back up all the way to 90 something. And I'm thinking like, if I listen to you, I'm gonna be losing money, right? The bears, the people who are trying to fear monger, they will have you waiting on the sideline forever and you will never make any money. The same thing happened with NVIDIA.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here.
Finish. When you finish, I want to finish because I want to finish while I have it in my mind of what I was going to say about crypto.
I got you. I might end on this, and this be it for me for tonight. So NVIDIA, I buy NVIDIA, and I'm talking about this thing was in a $100 range, but pre-split, right? So this is kind of like the $10 range compared to now. This was not that long ago, like a year and a half.
Right.
And I'm buying it basically at $10 compared to today's share price. And then I'm trading it. It go to 20, I'm trading it in and out, in and out. And then it had just decided to just shoot up to 500. So compared to today's price, it would be $50, right? Because it split 10 times.
Right.
So I'm buying NVIDIA. It hit an all-time high of $500. Everybody, oh man, this thing gonna come back down. It ran up too fast, too quick. I was like, watch this. I put in $20,000 and now I watch that go up 300%. And I'm thinking, if I would have waited and listened to these bears who know everything and they think that the only indicator that exists is something hit an all-time high, then you're gonna lose out. I'm telling you this right now. When you keep thinking that, because at a certain point, $2 was an all-time high for Bitcoin. At a certain time, $10 was an all-time high for Bitcoin. There's more to it. There is more to the story. So then that's how you got to live and learn with that.
So Josh, could you do me a favor while I'm making my point?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I
sir.
want you. I'm going to answer. I want you to pull up XRP and I want you to pull up SUI, right?
I got them both up.
Okay. All right. So over the last 30 days, which one would you have made more money in?
Let me look at the different time frames. Give me 1 minute.
Okay. And then
I think it's going to end up in the last 30 days. Give me a second. But I think I know what the answer to that is. But all right, let's go.
And then when you answer that, then I want you to go year to date, because I want to educate people on how I made so much money in 2021 off of crypto. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's just simple. People are complicating simple things. While you're looking at that, Josh, looking for that, I want you guys to know that, listen, I did not say that, don't leave here and said, Larry said crypto is going to fall. No, I was just repeating what Tom Lee said. I was saying, just be ready just in case. Someone asked, Larry, are you selling your bunk? Are you selling your SUI? Are you selling your MOG, M-O-G? No, no, and no. I'm not selling anything. I'm not selling, because here's where I am. I swung trade bunk. You guys saw it. I've swung trade bunk and cashed out $52,000 free cash. So the bunk that I have in there now that is up 100% is all the house's money. So I don't care if it pulls back 30%. Follow? I don't care. And I've swung so much crypto, Josh, you know that. And Josh will tell you, I put big bags in heavy. So I go in heavy early. And so it's to the point where my loss is not going to be someone else's loss, right? And even if I didn't do that, even if I was just coming in now, I understand that I'm not going to put in any money that I need in the next 4 years. I understand fundamentally we have a pro-crypto president coming in with over 300 of his staff coming in, right? The SEC is going out of the way. There's so much bullish stuff to happen long term. I know where we are in the crypto cycle. And I do believe that Bitcoin, you remember how we were talking about super cycles with meme coins and meme? I believe that Bitcoin is going to blow your mind. And then I'm in a position now where I'm going to be buying some Bitcoin that I'm never going to sell. Okay. So is that right now? I don't know right now. It depends on how high it goes. If Bitcoin hits the 250,000 this year, you never seeing 60,000 Bitcoin again. It ain't happening. It's not coming down that low. And if America does the reserve, which the president is not going to do day one, it's not going to happen. So things this time, some things are different. All right. So Josh.
Well, let me answer your question. Okay, so
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. Bitcoin is only up from the bottom of the 4-week candles back. So from the very low, if you bought in perfectly at the bottom of the, I guess that would be the second week in December, you would be up a total of 3.69%. XRP, if you bought perfectly at the bottom, you would be up.
XRP against SUI.
Well, you had said Bitcoin, XRP, and SUI. I'm just throwing.
I see what you're saying. I just want you to. I just want to compare SUI and XRP because I got a point.
All right. Well, the bottom line is XRP is 21% and SUI was 38% roughly
for the month.
So you would have been best off. You would have been best off from low to high buying SUI 4 weeks back.
Okay. So now year to date, which one you'd have been better off buying?
year to date. It'll take me a few minutes.
Okay,
but
go ahead, because I want you to do that. So while he's taking,
I have a feeling I know the answer to that too. But go ahead.
because I'm finna prove a point, and that point is that this same thing happened last cycle in 2021, right? I can't tell you how many emails I get about XRP. Please talk positive about XRP. Please talk positive about XRP. And it's not
You
the
want year to
regular
date, or you want 12? You want year to date or 12 months, Larry?
12 months. It doesn't matter.
All right. Go ahead. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
So either one, a year to date or 12 months will be fine. So what I'm telling you guys is this okie doke happens every single cycle. They overhype something that's going to work anyway. XRP is going to work anyway. It's going to multiply anyway. But it's dangerous when you have this overhypeness that goes on in the chase, and then it becomes something it's not, because reality will set in and a lot of people will lose money. So my point in all of this is showing you guys that with all of the hype that's around XRP, there are other coins that's outperforming it. With all of the good news behind XRP, with all of the advertisement with XRP. So diversify, good people. And I'm telling you guys, at some point, you're going to wish you had some Bitcoin, and don't just go into put all your money into one trade, right? Keenan, what you got to say about that?
Yeah. Well,
Josh,
can I give you the real quick comparison?
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this. So in between, if we kind of change it a little bit, between 10 to 12 months, SUI's gone up just around 500%. XRP's gone up around 376%. And that's if we kind of go off of more recent lows to most recent high. So the fact is that you're right, Larry. SUI's been, it's been a great performer. XRP, yeah.
And everybody's been talking about XRP. Everybody, literally. I got friends I ain't seen in years. They know this is what we do, Josh, and they come and, hey man, I got a bonus check coming, like 10K. I want to put it all in XRP. Instead of asking me, what should I put it in, Larry? Since this is what you do, you know how you guys know how that is.
Yes, I do.
And you know
I do.
See, I talk to my friends directly. I say, you sound like a fool. Click. All right, that's the way I treat my friends. He called me back. I got him straight. So, Josh, what do you want to say about that?
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I think that I think that I want to be clear regarding how bearish I am. I am looking down the long view of this year, and I believe that we're going to have catalysts between now and the election that could drive Bitcoin. It could drive Bitcoin to 116. So I'm not telling everybody to stop buying crypto and Bitcoin and to sell their bags. I'm not. I am currently taking off the table Bitcoin going above 116, I would say between now and June. I'm taking that off the table because we're not, someone made a comment and they said, it's normal, we're consolidating. I already told you guys it's not normal. You don't consolidate in the parabolic stage. We spent 5 months consolidating from March to October. So no, it's not normal to have a pump after the breakout month and then go back into consolidation. So you're wrong. So listen to someone who studied the charts and understands what is normal. This is not normal. So I do think we're going to have an opportunity for a move to the upside because this market's not selling off and Bitcoin's actually holding price very well. It's not been very volatile. I'm very interested in seeing what type of catalyst Trump will be, but I have to take off the table a larger move. And the only way we're going to get that massive move higher above 116 is if Donald Trump says he's going to make it a reserve asset. If he doesn't do it, then it's going to be a massive, disappointment, and it's not going to go well. We're not going to get that big Bitcoin number that people are wanting.
Hey, Josh, Keenan.
Yes,
somebody
sir.
said, what should I put my money in now? I believe they were talking about crypto. Keenan, I already know what you're going to say. Keenan, what advice would you have for them?
So first of all, I'll tell you, anything I say is not a suggestion to buy, hold, or sell. You can see I'm still trying to manage my voice. But with that being said, I would say if I was you, I'd be buying Bitcoin. I would dollar cost average into Bitcoin. I also think with the SEC being off the back of XRP, if you get it under $1, then you are in a good position compared to the people who just keep buying every time it run up. So those two I want you to pay attention to. However, we've been talking about SUI here too. SUI is really a potential game changer in terms of just being a level one kind of a cryptocurrency where you could build a lot of different things off of it. A lot of people are making a lot of money with SUI. So I really want you to really pay attention to that. However, don't get so married to any one thing that you miss out on all other opportunities. But like Larry was talking about with, I want to say it was Gilberto, if you keep finding yourself losing, and we've been in a 2-year bull market, I'm talking about a bull market that we ain't even seen, then quit trading and go and buy VOO. Quit trading and buy VOO. The dude who said he was down 90K, imagine you would have put, let's imagine you put in 300K and you're down 90, right? Because you're down 30%. How about you would have put 300K in VOO and just watch it just tick up?
Right.
And give you a dividend quarterly. Like sometimes y'all in such a rush to turn 300K into 600K or 900K that you miss out on the 24% year that the S&P had, and you could have turned it into a whole lot of money and just had to wait just a little bit longer. You're going to let impatience be the death of your portfolio. So sometimes you just got to slow down and relax and get to know a stock, get to know a crypto before you go all in. Some of y'all just getting married on the first date with these cryptocurrencies, the first date with these options. Take it slow. Take it slow. Your grandmother would be ashamed. Take it slow.
Hey, Josh. I mean, Keenan, where, like, if you that deep down 300K, like if you had 90K, like when we were screaming it was a buy, when we were screaming Bitcoin was a buy at 18K, at 20K, and then even on a live here, it went down to 54. We all said we were buying at 54. That was the local low of that time. Nobody want to touch it. Why? Because it's beat down. My friend, where were you last year when I said no one's gonna watch this video? I'm buying right here. Click it. Right? This is crypto is not stocks. It's really easy. Let me say this. I said this before and I stand behind it. It's so proof. It's easier to make money with crypto than it is the stock market. Way easier. If you take the time to study it. It's way easier to make money with crypto than it is the stock market. If you take the time to really do a deep dive and study crypto, I'm telling you, good people, I am going to make so much money because I understand it. Once you understand, and not just crypto, but blockchain technology, most people out there that's buying XRP don't even know what it does, what it do. Okay? A lot of people don't even know. And I'm going to tell you the secret to XRP. It really just happened. It was the stable coin. To me, that's the big thing about XRP. It moved now that the SEC is going bye-bye, right? And so when the election was over, if you put a chart on XRP, you will see the day of the election in a takeoff, right? Because we know what was coming. But the strategic move, one of the smartest things XRP did was get into the stable coin, because business to business transactions of hundreds of millions and billions of dollars daily will depend on stable coins. That's why. So if you take the time to truly study everything you need to know about crypto and blockchain technology, and the phases in the 4-year cycles of crypto, it's easier to make money. Believe me when I tell you.
Can I make a couple points, Larry?
Yes.
Well, first off, I want to give a technical reason why it's easier to make money in crypto. You're actually mentioning the fact that crypto is predictable and has these very strong cycles and structure that it tends to operate in, and
Yep.
these moments in time in which, so many days in a winter, so many days in a parabolic stage. And I agree with you.
Yeah.
But here's another reason why it's way easier to make money in crypto. First of all, it's all small cap, really, or it's not small cap. A lot of it's small dollar. So it's stuff it's under $1, under $3, under $5. And there's so much liquidity. So I illustrated this in my live today, that the S&P moved a 0.25. So 1/4% today, right? While I was live trading it. Okay. And now we got to pick up options perfectly, and we got to get a percentage, a couple candles of that 0.25% move in the morning. All right. Then I was trading XRP, and in the same time frame, it moved 6%. Okay. So I don't even know what the X multiplier is there, but we're talking 1/4% versus 6% in the exact same 2-hour window. And you know how much money you can make with that type of liquidity on XRP?
Yep.
You can make a ton of money, because you don't got to get a perfect entry and a perfect exit on that play. But you do if you're dealing with 0.25%. You got to nail those 5-minute candles. So just for some perspective, it is easier making money on crypto during the crypto bull market when there's all this liquidity sitting there. I want to quickly go over a couple things. Alex Pham says, do you think recession will happen at the end of 2025? Personally, no. I think the market is going to go through a reevaluation phase. Things are going to come down. And then I think 2025 and 2026 are going to be good years. What's the problem? Why is the Fed complaining? Why is he acting like, they might need to evolve? They used that term today. They had to evolve their game plan, and that they didn't have a clear path for inflation. The fact is, inflation is raging out of control because of a strong economy, not because of a weak economy, not because
Strong
of
jobs.
the fact that big tech. And so the fact is that we're dealing with a stronger economy than people expected, and inflation that's still sticky and not under control, and a market that doesn't really require easing, even though everybody wants it. It actually requires perhaps holding the rates steady, possibly even raising them if inflation gets out of control, because of strength, not weakness. The Fed did not sit there and say, hey, we're looking at economic data in 2025 and things are not looking good, right? Unemployment's our biggest concern in 2025. No, that's not what he said. He was blaming tariffs, and he was scared of inflation. So no, a recession is not down the road in 2025. The biggest problem that we have is not even recession. Okay. Now, don't quote me on this. Just focus on what I'm saying. The biggest problem we have is that stocks are simply overpriced, and the market wants a better deal. So we're going to have to go through a reevaluation phase. I'm not even going to call that a recession. Okay. Could we get back, enough that it would qualify as a recession? Maybe. But no, I don't see it 2025. I don't see it 2026. I see the biggest risk of the year is in the first quarter or the first 2 quarters. And I personally think 2025 will finish with the market 15% up. That's a consensus analyst view. And I think 2026, very likely 10 to 15% as well. So don't be frozen. I'm kind of feeding on what Keenan said. Scared money is not going to make no money. Be mindful that we are going to go through a turbulent time. Cash up. Larry told you he pulled 50K into his crypto account to be prepared to buy. Yep. And just think about that. Last thing here, someone said, is XLM still safe? I have to be honest. No disrespect. Okay. Yeah. No disrespect. I love you. Yeah. When I saw that, I was laughing. I was like, there's nothing. Crypto is not safe, my friends. This ain't safe. This is the edge. You're on the edge. You're sitting there. They're hooking you up with the bungee cord. Some dude, in Arizona desert, and you turn back and you're like, is this safe? Is this safe? I saw a video, Larry, of a woman that was bungeeing in South America, and that thing, she jumped over. I kid you not. It went all the way down. The line snapped, okay? And then she fell into the river below, which everybody understood was crocodile infested.
Oh, heck no. Excuse me, Josh.
Wait, go ahead.
I know what color she wasn't. Go ahead.
You know what's true about that, Larry? It's true about that. She was a little pasty.
We don't do
she's
that.
floating down the river. She's fully dressed, floating down the river, and her legs are tied because when you bungee cord, they tie your legs up like this.
No,
so she couldn't swim, and then
Man,
she's trying to avoid the crocodiles. No, guys, XLM is not safe. Neither is XRP, and neither is Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is right now feeling pretty good, for the next decade. But none of this stuff is safe. So keep it in perspective.
Listen, let me show you guys this, and we want to leave you guys with some good information, right? Look at this, good people. I just want to show this one more time because it's important right now that there's a lot of fear, right? So for those of you that are new, second halving, third halving, the halving we are in right now, right? Going up. You see that little blurb right there? You see that little blurb? Well, that little blurb represents 41%. See that? If I stretch that out, 41%, 30%, these are pullbacks. If I stretch this out, these are pullbacks, all while on the way up. Follow? So we're on this trajectory up. What Josh was saying is correct. We're just in a bearish market or bearish pattern. All the while we are going up. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4 30% pullbacks, right? And then what happened? It happened again. Pullback right here. That was like 30% pullback just from there to there, right? Now, here we are right now. Look at that. We have a long way to go, but it's not going to be a straight line up. It's not going to be a straight line up. And I want you guys that are new to be prepared for that. So that's why I said, I don't care if it comes back down. If it's not, I want you guys to leave with this. If Bitcoin has a pullback, and I'm not saying it will, is it more than 30%? Is it 40%? Now, if it's more than 40, 50%, then I'm like, oh man, this thing is broke. But if it's only, Josh, if Bitcoin only goes down 15%, those of us that's been through a cycle,
that's like nothing.
It's Tuesday, right? I'm not panicking. I don't want you guys to panic. And I just want you to know that here's what happened last cycle. A lot of people, when it went down that first 30%, if I put a chart from the top of that first drop to the bottom, right? That 30% loss, and then strike another line from the bottom of that loss to the peak, you would have made so much money had you just left it alone with no extra dry powder, had you just left it alone. And I'm not telling you what to do. Anything I say is not a suggestion for you to buy, hold, or sell. I'm telling you what Larry is doing. Now, gentlemen, let's end with some general practices that will help people save money and stop them from losing money. Keenan, we're going to start with you.
I want you to pick a number that is the maximum amount you are willing to lose on any trade. Pick an amount. I told you mine is 200. If I'm getting in on a day trade, that's what that's for. If I'm in a day trade, you might see me on Apple or VLO or something like that on a day. That might go down more than 200. But if I'm getting in a get in and a get out trade, $200 is my max risk. You're never going to hear Keenan Gray say, oh man, I lost 90K on it. It's not going to happen. So I want you to decide for yourself. Think about how much money you make. Everybody's pockets are different. What is the most amount that you're willing to lose in a day? Maybe it's 50, maybe it's 100 on a trade. Why? Because you got to set a floor. If you don't have a floor, your floor is going to be until you don't have any clothes on your back and you living out on the streets, because Wall Street will take everything from you. So with that being said, I'm dollar cost averaging in a Bitcoin. And when it hit 250 and when it hit 350 in a million, I don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm going to be there.
My man, I like that. Josh, what you got to say?
Well, I've got something I'm just going to buck the system here and talk about Reddit for a minute. Reddit, it's a little expensive because it's really been running hard. And I don't know if you guys even had heard that it's outperformed Palantir over the last 12 months. And but it's one of the most interesting stocks that I think on any major pullback that we might possibly have. I think it's going to be a huge opportunity. What's interesting, I don't know if you guys have been following this at all, and I know I'm shifting on you a little bit, Larry, but so they've got, I guess, 18 years of data, 200 million users, and they're applying AI to process it, and then they're going to gather all that information. They're a massive source of public information and deep dialogue on millions of subjects with millions of users. Now they're going to crunch that with AI, and they're going to make it available to advertisers. And so this could be opening up for a brand new multi-year season of 25% growth. And even though the stock, and here's what I like about the stock price. Okay, the stocks, it's gone up a lot. Like I said, it's gone up more than Palantir. But it hasn't gone up parabolic. It's got this nice little steady trot going. And you know, some of these other plays have run up hard. And sometimes when something runs straight up, like some of the quantum stocks, you can expect a pretty strong move down, right? Reddit's been just having this nice steady climb. So I'm going to leave you guys
Gosh,
with this.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that, because with Reddit, I had bought Reddit like 40% ago. I'm looking at it right now. I'm up 40%. I sent my buy alert out and I'm up 40%. And it was because Google was getting sued and ChatGPT was about to get sued. And it's because they were using public data. They didn't ask nobody to use it. So then
You're on it, man. You're on it. This is the story, guys. Pay attention.
Gemini, and they got Gemini 2 now. This is Google's AI. They were like, all right, we see ChatGPT and everybody getting sued, including us. So we're going to use Reddit's data bank of information, like Josh just said. And then I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be the one. Oh, my computer like died on me or something. There we go. This is going to be the one. So then I bought some of it and boom, cooking. So good point, Josh.
Yeah, no, I would just say this, you know, looking for, okay, I told you it's going to be a stock picker's market in the first 2 quarters of 2025. I'm not big on recession. I'm not thinking mother of all recessions. I'm not bearish on this economy. I do think there's going to be a reevaluation phase in the first half of this year. And when Reddit, if it comes down at all, I'm going to tell you that this is one that Wall Street wants a big piece of this. This is potentially something that could end up in the Magnificent Seven. They're talking about it being a search engine. They're talking about just enormous profits from advertising. And it's just taking a company that's not run up its valuation as much as other big techs, but applying AI to it. And it's just a world of opportunity. So watch it because it's slowly climbing. If you're not buying it, Wall Street's buying it.
All right, good people. Hey, we just want you guys to be careful. We want you to make money, okay? We want you not to panic. What I don't want you to do is panic while something is going up, but it's in a short-term bearish cycle, but long-term bullish cycle. And this happens a lot with stocks and crypto, right? It happens a lot. And then you got to know the difference. If I could help you with anything, I want you to understand that every stock is not a DCA and every stock is not a long-term investment. Some of them are just a swing trade. You got to get in, you got to get out. And every single time you get in with a stop loss. How much money am I willing to lose if this thing goes south? Day one, if you enter into a play without that, you're jumping out of a plane without a parachute. I'm telling you guys this. So Keenan said this earlier. Before you enter a play, and it doesn't matter even if it's in options, right? Make sure you know how much you're willing to lose in a trade, okay? Now, decipher what's a trade and an investment. A company with no earnings, with no revenue, you're paying for forward revenue. Just understand that in good times, they're going to run up 4 to 5 times, like all of quantum computing, 4 to 5, 10 to 100 times faster than they should be, just based on the hype. But when things get bearish, right, and we get into the fear gauge on stock, they come down just as quick as they went up. So you got to have your stop losses set, take profits. You never have to get permission to take profits and and learn the difference between a regular stop and a trailing stop. When I'm in profit, I use a trailing stop loss because it actually helps me to make more money. Follow? So that's what I want to tell you guys, all right? With crypto, though, I want you to understand where the stock market is and where crypto is. They're at two different levels. The stock market is on a sugar high right now because of the Trump trade, okay? And I said that when I talked about the quantum computing stock. So the stock market is on a sugar high, meaning it's too expensive, right? The stock market will still continue to go up even though it's expensive, right? Now, there's some things that's going on. There's been billions of dollars from foreign countries that are investing. Another one yesterday that the incoming president had on. So there's a lot of things that are happening, but it's not going to be a straight line up. With crypto, because of where we are, 2025, you're going to kill it way more in crypto than you are with the stock market, depending on, I'm just talking about the overall market, right? But it's going to take patience, and it's not going to be a straight line up. It's going to be volatile. And if you don't like roller coasters, get off this ride. That's what I'm going to tell you guys. All right. So listen, I want to clear something up. Guys, I have started my own Discord, but it's not a Discord. It's not through Patreon. It is solely on WAP. Okay. So I want to let you guys know that we have the stock squad. Okay. We have the stock squad, right? So that link will be in the description where you get all of us. But I have launched my own called Money Moves. Okay. And that's where I am. And it's my version. Okay. And it's just one tier. Everybody's VIP is what I say. And we are concentrating on education as well as you get my plays in the bonus room. It is live now, but it officially launches on the 16th. But both links will be in the description beneath. All right. Okay. So I want you guys to be, know the difference between the two. Okay, guys, what do you want to say something? Say goodbye to the people. Keenan, say a quick goodbye. That was too quick, man. Say something. Somebody want to hear your sexy voice, man.
No, everybody. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys, and we really want you to just level up this year. It was a bull market for the last 2 years. We might get 2 more years of a bull market. So 2 before, 2 then. That's what I'm talking about. So when I say that, or I say that to say this, if you are having trouble trading, look at profitable companies like Apple, like Nvidia, things like that, and just start there. Don't try to turn $1 into 2 overnight. Get your skills up, and then you're going to get them bills up in terms of them dollar bills up. So that's what I got for you, family. Love.
Josh.
Thank you for having me on. I've enjoyed the conversation as always, Larry and Keenan. Someone had put in the comments, they said that no, Reddit has not surpassed Palantir. I went and quickly checked that. And Reddit, of course, IPO'd here March of 2024, and it's up around 300%. And in the same time frame, Palantir is up 208%. So that was the statistic. Thank you for having me on the show, and I thought it was great. Guys, don't get caught up, because a lot of the things we're talking about, you listen carefully to the detail. Timing matters. Keenan talked about long-term vision on Bitcoin. I talked about what could happen in the first or second quarter of 2025. So just keep it in perspective. Don't get scared. Be careful about being too bullish, and just make sure you've got a long-term vision planned and a take profit plan. Thank you, Larry.
There you go. Take profits. Hey, either way it goes, we're going to be fine. Separate. I want you to go through all of your stocks and separate the swing trades from your long-term investments. Okay. I'm not buying MicroStrategy right now because of the gappage, right? I'll just cover this really really quick, gentlemen. Just give me 1 minute. I gotta cover this. All right. I'm not trading MicroStrategy right now because it's not down far enough. All right. So if you look right here, you'll see that you guys know how I do this. It's just so simple to me in the month, right? When it gets double digits, as you can see, MicroStrategy is the yellow. When it's double digits lagging behind Bitcoin, that's my buy signal. But right now, where it is right now, it's only a few points behind Bitcoin. It's not a buy signal for me, right? It's just not, okay? Especially the direction that Bitcoin is cooling off. So I'm not buying MicroStrategy right now based on that. It's just simple. It has worked for me every time, and it's just don't be in just don't be in a hurry. Good people, don't be in a hurry. Like Josh told you, I pulled that money in. He said, "What you gonna do with it?" I said, "I'm not in a hurry to do nothing. I want come on down, right?" And so that's what I'm looking for. I used to love it when Keenan used to play that all the time. Come on down. So good people, we're gonna leave it right there. We want to be different than just anybody that's getting on. There's a lot of great content out here. So I'm never gonna rag on anyone else, but we're different. We care about you guys. We want you to prosper and make money, but we want you to learn from your mistakes. Okay, we're gonna leave it right there, good people. We love you. Live, love, laugh, and learn.